what have we all been up to? Over to you, Max. I ain't really spoken to you much recently. What have you been playing in the old gaming verse?
Most recently, well, the last game I played was Final Fantasy 9 for the PC. I did the 24-hour charity run of that and completed that. That was really fun to play through again.
How did you find the ending? Because I noticed you did a couple of posts up on Facebook with there was a final boss thing that you were starting out. Or what were going on there? Because I have never played Final Fantasy 9. I think we say every time you mention Final Fantasy, I'm like, yeah, never played it. Yeah, never played it. So what happened at the end then? Explain that. Talk me through it.
So when I previously this year I did because there were charity streams for Cancer Research UK. I did Final Fantasy 8 in February. And we finished that around 24 hours, and then Final Fantasy 7, which is a bit of an odd order, but I realised best finish them off for PS1 in April, and that only took about 23.5 hours. They were finished fine, but Final Fantasy 9, we basically finished through the whole game, which, when you don't play them often, it's hard to remember all what you should be doing for them. So you get towards the end of the game, but because you've been doing it in one sitting, you're not really doing any side quests or leveling up or doing anything like that. You're just going straight through the game. You're a bit underpowered for it. And we got to the end boss and we beat him, but then there's actually like an end boss after him, and he is a right pain. In Final Fantasy 9, the end boss, I'm not going to spoil anything like that, has a lot of status ailments he'll put on your team, and no matter how you've kind of like leveled up through the game or what you've done, these status ailments can kind of just take out your whole party. It's at random. Like there's 20 different kinds you can get hit by, like petrify, stop, death, zombie, poison, slow, sleep, things like that. And it picks random ones and might apply any of them to your party, and you can like defend against some of them with your equipment. But we didn't really have any good equipment, so we go to this boss. And I tried him a few times, and it won't going down. It was 23 hours and like 40 minutes, and I'm like, we're right at the end of this game. I'm dying here. I'm like, sorry, going, please finish. Because I estimated to finish the game at 20 hours. I'm like, oh yeah, Final Fantasy 9's a short one. We'll get that done. And we were just struggling through, and I thought, damn it. But on the bless you.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm trying to do it as slowly as possible. Like, I'll keep up to the side. Go on, keep going.
Dabbing in the corner there.
I feel coming. Keep going.
Bless you. In the new release they did for it, for PC, Android, and iOS, they added on a few extra functions for people who, like, you know, I don't want to say like casual, but it's the general like consensus for it is that you can click an option that gives you levels all your characters to level 99, which is the maximum level, puts all your abilities to be learned, and gives you maximum money in the game. So you can press those at any time, and you can't turn them off again. That's your like save change to that style.
Right. And
at 20 minutes to go, I went, right, sod it. We need to finish the game on time. Press the buttons, and then we did beat him after 2 attempts, which still showed how hard he was. That it still took 2 attempts, and then we got the end cutscene, and it all wrapped up about 24 hours, 15 minutes, something like that. So it still just went over, which was fine. I was knackered. But
I'm not surprised.
well, yeah, I couldn't live with it though. Then like it was eating away at me. I'm like, oh damn it, we finished all the other ones on time. We managed to finish the games. It's meant to just be 24 hours, but it was eating away at me because I played the game when it first came out, like 20. Well, no, it might have been 2004 or something like that. Maybe more. Might have been less actually. I don't know. It was a while ago. PS1 age, so you know, it was the last game kind of the PS1. And I'd finished that when I was a kid, and I thought, well, I can finish it then, I can finish it now. So I booted it back up again the other day, put an extra 2 hours in, finished it all up, and then just recorded just the boss battle and re-uploaded that onto Facebook and said, right, here's me beating him properly without using the weird abilities and stuff. He's done now.
You feel like your own mentality is like, I've got it so it's like I know what you mean when you get to a point in a game like that and it eats away at you when you feel like that's not gone how I want it to. I actually went back and played Witcher 3 Game Plus mode and just happened to choose a different selection of dialogue and ended up having a fight with one of the with this witch woman and ended up killing her. And I didn't want to kill her, and I was like, oh dude, and I played it for another 10 minutes and I went, nope, reload back for about like half an hour before and replayed it, and I was like, right, there we go, that's what I want. And it just, you get that sort of niggling where you just don't feel happy. But yeah,
that's Dark Souls 3 in a nutshell for me. I've not finished that yet, but I've restarted it about 4 times because something keeps happening. I'm like, no, new game.
Not happy. This will not happen this way.
Yeah, exactly.
So can we check out the recording of your 24-hour live stream?
Yes, Final Fantasy 7 and 9 are still on my Twitch channel on the highlights section. Final Fantasy 9 recently went on there at twitch.tv/SFO_ZXMX. If you go to my highlights, you can view the whole thing there, all 24 hours if you fancy it.
Well, if you got a bit of a spare day, well, a couple of days, can you still donate to the charity as well?
Yeah, the Just Giving page is up as well. If you search for Final Fantasy 9 charity stream on there or Mark Stevens ZXMX, one of those things, it should come up generally.
Cool. I'll leave a description in the below as well, so then basically everybody can click through, and so I'll be able to either donate or watch the stream. But no, I've got to say that you've done 3 now. Did you say? That is good going, man. That is really good going. Unfortunately, like I said, I only stuck around for 3 or 4 hours for this one. I think the one before, I managed to stay for about 8 or 9.
You were there for most of 7. I remember that a lot. I was surprised. I
was just trying to work out the story because everybody raves on about Final Fantasy 7. I went, right, I will figure out the story. I'll work out what's going on. And I ain't got a freaking clue. I remember just sat there just like, who's that? And I know who Cloud is now.
Aren't they remastering number 7?
Yes, they are doing the remaster, but it's the way that they're going down. It looks more action based, and I don't feel it's gonna. Well,
is it not turn based?
No, which I think it could be. They could miss something here with it. But
isn't that like a key part of the game?
Has the more of the newer ones gone down that sort of path now?
Well, 15 that's coming out soon. That's definitely all about the action with some of your RPG elements to it. But 14 was an online MMO. 13 was still turn-based, but had a lot more, I don't know, reactive things you could do in it. 12 was the last standard one, but it wasn't turn-based in that. You kind of set, it was almost like you controlled one character at a time of your party of 3 and walked around an open world where you could see all the enemies so that fights didn't just start. And you set your abilities before fights. They were called gambits. So it said things like, cast fire if you've got more than 75% MP, and use a potion if you've got less than 20% health, stuff like that. You set them all up, and then just they'd auto attack and do their moves based on how you'd set them. So you kind of did all your turn-based strategy before the fight started, which
there's something about traditional turn-based strategy I do enjoy though. I never played the Final Fantasies, but I got massively into Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. Really, really enjoyed that, and that was sort of my turn-based game. If I think of turn-based, that's the game I think of. I sort of stumbled across it because that was the time when I was Lord of the Rings films were coming out, mad Lord of the Rings fan, and just played all the games. But that was sort of my introduction to turn-based, I'd say. In all honesty, I never really sort of played the Final Fantasies. But
I've never played Final Fantasy, but I've got Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2 remastered editions. But I haven't played them yet, so.
They require a commitment sort of game to play, though. It's not. You can't just sort of. I've always sort of thought about it. It's like if you've got a spare hour, that's not enough time to play Final Fantasy. You need about 3 hours minimum.
Well, it's funny because that's always been my mentality with RPGs, and I go through this weird cycle where if I don't finish one and I play something else for a few months, and I go, I'll get back on that. I have to start it again to get back into the story. But from doing these 24-hour runs, I found that you can actually get through them quite quick if you just actually stick to the main part of it. Because I suppose The Witcher is a good example of that. Is an RPG game. All in all, it's very action played, and so is Dark Souls to some extent. But you wouldn't want to put just an hour in, but you can do. So 10, I think 10 is probably the best starting point for anyone wanting to try Final Fantasy, because the remaster of it works quite well for that. So it's generally a lot easier to get used to and get a feel for, and then you can work a bit older if you wanted to. But a lot of people mainly know turn-based for Pokemon games these days.
Well, that was good point actually. No, that was probably my introduction to turn-based actually, strategies. I totally forgot about Pokemon. But at what point did they change them from traditional turn-based to this more action-based? Because was it in the PS2 sort of time?
It was like the end of the PS2, the start of the PS3. There were a lot of things, because there was a lot of controversy around. You won't know in the game, maybe. You might do, actually. It was for the Xbox 360 called Lost Odyssey. That was an RPG.
4 discs. It was massive.
Yeah. Absolutely huge. But that was by Mistwalker Studios, I think they were called. But they were comprised of previous Final Fantasy staff that had like left the company, like the original Final Fantasy staff, and they made that turn-based game. But a lot of the reviews for it, because it was one of the best like RPGs you can play. I still recommend it now. I wish they do a PC release of it, to be honest.
It's a little bit weird though, isn't it?
Yeah, it got slated in reviews like as average or above average, like 6, 7, and 8, nothing higher than that. And they all kept saying in the reviews, turn-based game. That's pretty much the only thing they could say bad about it. But it played great. It's like Pokemon.
It's not a bad like. I don't think you can use turn-based as a bad sort of way of describing a game, because if it's a style of game which is turn-based, then it's turn-based. It's no sort of like, I got to admit, I remember looking back when I was really young, and if someone said a turn-based strategy, I'd be like, well, no, I'm not into that sort. But I think as I've got older, like I say, introduction to Pokemon, Lord of the Rings, Middle-earth, Shadow Mordor, and as I've got older, I've got more into turn-based strategy, because I feel like it gives me a little bit more time to prep. Because like if I play like an RTS, for example, strategy game, I'm just simply not fast enough thinking to be able to get ready. And it's just like, because obviously that's about speed and making sure you've got that building, that building, that building. Whereas as now, if I'm turn-based, I'm a bit more sort of ploddy, and I can plod along and go, right, he's going to do that move, and I'm going to then do this move. Yeah. But yeah, so what's the plans for the future then for more charity streams?
So I'm hoping in October to do Final Fantasy X, the PC version of that. That would be the 4th one, because originally I was planning on doing 4 in total, because it was going to be like 1 per season almost. So like we did spring, summer. No, hang on. What have I done? I did February, so I've done 3, but I don't know what seasons I've done actually. That must have been. I must have counted this as autumn, even though it feels like it was summer. So I've somehow done a bit too close together.
I guess you could do.
Because February would have been spring, and then technically April would have been summer. Yeah. And so this was just autumn. Well, this winter.
Well, yeah. I guess you could class it as autumn, because if you ran into then again give it another few months, you could be running into winter anyway. So it'll be heading that way.
Well, that's it.
So what are your feelings? Are you going to do any form of streaming with the new Final Fantasy that's coming out? Are you going to be looking at that at all?
It's a weird one, is that, because they've announced recently that they're doing a re-release of Final Fantasy 12, the HD remaster, which was the last PS2, and that looks quite nice as well. So my actual current aim would be to do 10 in October. 12 doesn't come out for the PS4 or the PC until 2017. So I was going to do something ideally in like December, like a bit of a Christmas finish off, because so far we've raised something like £850 or something like that, and I wanted to get about £1,000 if possible for like the year, just to kind of like round it off as a nice number. So I was hoping to do the next stream and maybe a Christmas one to finish that off, but they've pushed me to next year sadly. But 15, I am interested in, but I don't think I'll buy it on launch. I think I'll wait for the PC one on that rather than PS4, just because I played the original demo that you got if you played Final Fantasy Type 0, I think it was called. Apologies if it's not that, I forget. And that demo, before I played that demo, I wasn't sold on the game, because from appearance-wise, Final Fantasy's changed a lot for me, from being very, I don't know, colourful, different, weird characters, stuff like this, to this looks like Backstreet Boys on tour.
Yes, it does.
And that's what put me off, because the further HD we got with these games, like from 13 onwards, it just became pretty boy and girl, the game.
That actually may have enhanced the trailer slightly if it had pulled up and they were going, everybody. That probably would have, I would have been gone, and where do I pre-order it? I'll play that game. Oh, dear.
But no, it looks, after playing the demo, it feels really interesting, but it seems a bit choppy on the current PS4. I feel like this is going to be one of the key games that might work well with the PlayStation Neo when that comes out, or whatever it's meant to be called now, because I think just that little bit more power would help push it along, because it seemed like the frames were quite low, and some of the models were quite pixelated on the edges. There's a lot of detail to look at, so some screenshots right now look really nice, but I felt that way with Bloodborne to some extent as well, that in screenshots the game looks nicer than in motion, but it is still a gorgeous game. So Final Fantasy 15 is absolutely gorgeous looking, Bloodborne's gorgeous, but again, if that had have said it's going to get a PC release, I'd have waited for PC on that too, just because it's more of a longevity thing for me. It'll look nice, it'll either look equally nice now or a little bit nicer, but then I own it on PC, so whenever I upgrade my PC I can go back to it and I've just got it then.
Yeah. No, it's a good shout, to be absolutely honest. So yeah, check out in the description below for Mac's live stream and for donating to Cancer Research UK. Like I said, but your streams are absolutely spot on. They really are, quality-wise. Like, your internet is seriously to die for. I was like, great, yeah. Like, I wish I had your internet. I've clicked on it before, and I was just like, I was actually looking, going, what has he got set up? I'm like, yeah, your internet's just amazing. Good quality.
I was going to say,
really
gear-wise, it's all really cheap stuff I use. Like, it's a cheap camera, it's a cheap microphone. It's all just like borderline stuff, but the internet, it costs about equal to them.